Python if statement efficiency. A friend, fellow low-skill level recreational Python scripter, asked me to look over some code. I noticed that he has 7 separate statements that basically said. The statements A, B, C all tested their equality or lack of to set values. As I looked at it, I found that because of the nature of the tests, I could rewrite the whole logic block into 2 branches that never went more than 3 deep and rarely got past the first level, making the most rare occurrence test out first. To me, logically it seems like it should be faster if you are making less, simpler tests that fail faster and move on. My real questions are: 1. When I say if and else, should the if be true, does the else get completely ignored? 2. In theory would if A and B and C take as much time as the 3 separate if statements would?
I would say the single test is as fast as the separate tests. Python also makes use of so-called short-circuit evaluation. That means for A and B and C, that B or C would not be tested anymore if A is false. Similar, if you have an OR expression, A or B, and A is true, B is never evaluated. So to sum up, the clauses don't fail faster with separation.
If statements will skip everything in an else bracket if it evaluates to true. It should be noted that worrying about this sort of problem, unless it's done millions of times per program execution, is called premature optimization and should be avoided. If your code is clearer with 3 if, A and B and C, statements, they should be left in.
Code. Output. So, although the setup is the same, the cleanup for the combined expression is faster since it leaves only a single value on the stack.
At least in Python, efficiency is second to readability and flat is better than nested. See the Zen of Python.
If you are worried about B or C being functions that are called instead of just variables that are evaluated, then this code shows that short-circuiting is your friend. Prints. But if you have code that does this, then your code is still calling all 3 expensive functions. Better to let Python be Python. Which will only call as many expensive functions as necessary to determine the overall condition. Edit. You can generalize this using the all built-in. Now if you have to add other functions, or want to reorder them, maybe function underscore A is very time consuming, and you would benefit by filtering cases that fail function underscore B or function underscore C first. You just update the funcs list. All does short circuiting just as if you had spelled out the if as if A and B and C. If functions are ORed together, use any built-in instead.
to all the reasons are sorry.